If you have ever felt at any point in time that your days are just slipping by and you don't know where time goes, this video is for you. I've been there before. There was a particular season of my life that I wake up in the morning, all I'll do is just do the routine work, go through the day ends, the week ends, and I wasn't really seeing any kind of rhythm in my life. The steps that I had to take in order to plan my day, my month, and even year is what I'll be sharing with you in this video. By the end of the video, you will learn 5 simple steps which are practical for you to use to have clarity and more balance in your life. Hi, I'm Wadivia Brichu. This is the Balanced Digital Life with AB. Welcome if it's your first time. If it is not, good to have you back. On this channel, I talk about everything related to technology and living our lives now in this digital world. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 simple steps to plan your day, your week, and your month. These are steps that I have practiced myself, and that is why I want to share with you because this will help you stay focused and productive without burning out. Let's delve right into it. First of all, in order to plan your day, your week, or your month, even year, it starts with having a purpose. What is the aim? What is the goal? That will determine the plan that we have. If you have the end in mind, then at the beginning, you will know how to plan towards that end or goal that you have. So our first step is to first zoom out. We want to plan our month. I know sometimes when it comes to planning the year, people find it difficult. So I'll just break it down first from the month. And it will start with the purpose question that I asked. You can ask yourself, what do I want to achieve for this particular month? What do I want to feel I have accomplished at the end of this month? You could just list 3 items that you want to achieve by the end of the month that you are starting. And this can be the planning process for you. Now, the main aim of having the big picture in mind is to ensure that your days aren't just busy, but they are meaningful. Why? Because there's a focus and we have the end in mind. So first step, have a big picture, have clarity. One main thing that you want to achieve for the month, or it can be 3 max. Don't go beyond 3 so that it now becomes difficult for you to achieve. So for an example, maybe you've given yourself 6 months to write the book and the book has 24 chapters. Example, 24 chapters simply means that every single month you should be able to write 4 chapters. So in breaking that down now into the weeks, it means every week you should be able to write 1 chapter. So that's the second step of our process of planning our day. We've broken down the big picture now into weeks. With our example of writing a book by the end of 6 months, this particular month, the aim will be write 4 chapters. So with 4 chapters in place, now we break it down further into days. This is where the daily planning comes in. And when it comes to the daily planning, the main step is to prioritize the activity. I'm really saying this and saying it well because if you don't have it as a priority, you would have all other kinds of things keeping you busy. And by the end of that month, by the end of that week, by the end of that year, you will see that you've not achieved any of the major goals that you set for yourself. There are times that you can just go throughout the day like I was doing at that season of my life. You will not really prioritize the key things for you to do. And it's so important. If you've had in mind that you want to be studying your Bible, you want to be studying for a particular exam, then it's a good time to prioritize that activity. Because then when you have it as a priority, the next step comes in where you schedule time for it. Now, in scheduling the time, you can have different times in the day scheduled. In fact, when it comes to scheduling time and planning the day, I have 2 main methods that I'd like to share with you. One of them I really like, and that one has to do with giving time slots for each of the activities that you want to perform. I'm going to give examples. You plan to clean your house, you plan to cook, you plan to study. These are 3 main activities. What you can do is to check. In cleaning the house, I may take an hour to do that. If it's 1 hour, I know cleaning house is 1 hour. When it comes to cooking, I know it usually takes me 1 hour, 30 minutes. So for that day, 1 hour 30 minutes is dedicated to cooking. When it comes to studying, maybe you want to write a particular exam, then I know that studying, I'll need 1 hour that day. So 1 hour is dedicated for that. Now, going back to our big picture example that we gave earlier, you're writing a book and you need to be writing one chapter every week. What does that mean for a day? Does it mean you have to write 2 paragraphs for that day? You would need to now schedule that time for it. Then you can give a time slot, 30 minutes for writing. So it could be that you have a time slot for something. You don't necessarily have to do it at a particular time because it's a time slot. But the time slots help you to know that in this particular day, it means I have 8 hours of working hours. I have 2 hours of performing my chores. I have 1 hour for reading. I have 30 minutes of studying. And when you add everything together, you can make up your 24 hours. So this one doesn't necessarily work with a particular time period, as in a start and an end time. You give the time slots for it. And then during the day, you slot those time that you have dedicated for the activity that you need to do. Another way of planning out the day is to do according to time. When I say according to time, what I mean by that is 5 to 6, this is what I'll do. 6 to 7, this is what I'll do. 7 to 8, that is also them. This second method is also very good. It keeps you very focused. If you know that 6 to 7, what you have to do is to study. Then 6 to 7, you spend that time studying. There is a downside to this particular planning method for me. I mean, it can work for you. I know it does work for some people. But for me, where I see it to be a downside is when, for instance, there's an activity that comes to interrupt your plan for the day. Then it's like it becomes a bit difficult to move things around. You can still find ways around it. I mean, it's still your time and how you are making good use of it. But in planning the day, it's important to have time slots mainly for the key goals that you want to achieve. All other things can be secondary. If you've prioritized it and scheduled the time for it, then you can go ahead and perform that activity. So the second method of planning, you can use 6 to 7, 7 to 8. You put in the different activities that you want to perform and then you do it. The final step that I want to share with you is pausing to reflect. It's so important. We can do all the planning, we can do all the checking of the list that we have, but if we do not pause and reflect on what we have done, review it to know what worked, what didn't work, what can be adjusted, then that particular big picture that we had from the start, we will not be achieving it. So there you have it. 5 practical, simple steps that you can use to plan your day, your week, your month, or even your year. And all you have to do, have the big picture in mind. With that big picture, break it down into months or weeks and days. When you do this breaking down, the next step for you to do is to prioritize the activity that leads to your main goal, and then you schedule time for it. After that scheduling of time is done and you perform the activity or not, the next step for you is to review and reflect on it. What has worked? What has not worked? What can you change? What can you adjust? In this way, you have a system that is working, because once there is reflection, there will be more improvement. And together, we all can be living a balanced digital life. If this video has been helpful to you, go ahead and like. This helps to let others like you also see it. And subscribe if you have not yet. Share with someone. Also, share with me in the comment section down below. What is one goal that you're hoping to achieve in a month? And what is one step that you are going to be taking towards it? We can all be our brother's keeper. So the next time, it's bye.